welcome back my lovely darlings to my channel. Today another video, but before we start talking about new subject, I just really want to thank all of you who are here, who are subscribers, because we actually reached 1000, which I know for some might be a really small thing to do, and for me just, you know, I was happy when I was reaching 100, 200, 300 subscribers. It just makes me really happy, and now that we actually get to the stage that we have 1000 subscribers, so really a really big thank you to you, and I hope in the future, you know, we're going to grow more and more, and we're going to talk more about like elegant fashion and elegant stuff overall, because I think actually there is a need for that, and more and more ladies actually realizing that they don't really just want to be casual, sporty, they want to actually present themselves a little bit different, you know, and elegant fashion is actually a little bit different now these days. Like, not many people actually wear elegant, so well, I hope the channel is going to grow, but I'm honestly very, very grateful for all of you, and thank you very much from the bottom of my heart that you are here. It's getting to the stage that I'm already, I think, 30, almost 32 weeks pregnant. I'm just getting so hot. I don't know if you've ever been pregnant, but some people get either cold, either hot, and I'm one of those people that really get hot. And I was already thinking the weather is going towards autumn and it's going to be nice and more chill, and we have another heat wave in Scotland, so it is hard, you know. I'm really happy that there is warm weather because we can go to park with my son, spend a lot of time outside still, and he loves to be outside, you know. It's just something that he just really is this child that he can stay all day outside and he just love it. He can just play with stones, just do stuff on the grass, you know. He just loved that, and I love that about him as well, because that I feel like that's how the childhood should be, you know, not sitting at home all the time. But it is affecting me as well because it's quite warm, and I remember on the beginning of my pregnancy, my friend from Poland, she was telling me like, oh, you're going to be pregnant through all those like summer period, like you're going to be the biggest through the summer period, and I'm like, no, in Scotland there's never summer, and this year actually it's really hot, so I'm honestly like sweating. But anyway, sorry for that. What I wanted to talk today about is jewelry. I already made a video about gemstones, so this is like, for me, gemstones are like type of very rich jewelry, very like a old-fashioned, maybe a little bit, very more maybe vintage type of jewelry, but I wanted to focus a little bit more on contemporary jewelry, just because I think, you know, not everybody is into the gemstone, you know. Gemstones as well can be very expensive, so that's another thing, you know. You can buy obviously pearls that are better like price when it comes to like earrings, but even a necklace of real pearls, you know, it can cost £1000, you know, so that's quite a lot of money. But when it comes to contemporary jewelry, you can obviously wear something very simple, very minimalistic, still going to look very sophisticated. I think it's just focusing more on like real materials rather than going for something like plastic or anything like that. So that's what we're going to talk a little bit more about today, because I think this is just, if you want to include more jewelry in your wardrobe and not necessarily buy stuff like costume jewelry from, well, you know, any brand can do costume jewelry, even Chanel do costume jewelry. Not many pieces over there are real, made of like gold or made of silver. It's fine, you know. I don't think that costume jewelry is the worst and everything like that, you know. I just feel like if you can afford it, I feel like it's better for you and better for your wallet, but overall better for the future of the pieces. And obviously silver is going to survive much longer than, for example, a plastic or some kind of, you know, material that it's not really natural, I would say. So that's why I think sometimes it's better to buy less, maybe smaller pieces, and have them made of real gold, because you can have those for really long time, and even your kids, your grandchildren can use that. But if you buy something that is costume jewelry, there's really a big chance that through your lifetime that piece is going to get damaged, you know. even if you're going to really take care of it. I wanted to talk a little bit more like of those pieces that I find personally very elegant, that it can be really like timeless. Obviously some of the contemporary jewelry can be very like fashionable as well, so they can have particular shape, and I would say maybe try to avoid that. Go for those very like a trendy items. Go for something that it's like, again, more timeless, that's something that you can wear really in next 20 years, or something that in 50 years time it's still going to be absolutely brilliant, absolutely perfect. I have here a picture of lady. She has this kind of earrings that I think they are really nice. They maybe a little bit on a bigger side, but just wanted to show you obviously what I mean, like contemporary jewelry, because obviously there is a lot of things you can put into this basket, you know. But for me, those are going to be pieces that maybe they're not going to have a lot of like elements. They're just going to be either gold, either silver, maybe a little bit some kind of like diamond thing, but or zircon, but obviously that's already including the gemstones, so don't want to really focus on that, to be honest, because obviously if someone can afford diamond, even little earrings, then it's fantastic, you know. I would love that. but let's just focus on like a gold, silver, this type of like platinum, this type of materials, because I think those are really again timeless, and they can really go through the different period of time, and they're going to be still very like elegant. This is really nice like set, I would say. As you can see, the earrings are, I would say, a little bit more like modern again, so this is more like a, I wouldn't say very trendy, I would just say it is this kind of shape of more like contemporary, more contemporary rather than like very like old-fashioned, I would say. Again, really lovely like a necklace, or like a, I don't even know how would you call something like this. I would just say it's a necklace, just like a rounded over her neck. Beautiful gold, I think, looks absolutely beautiful for ladies with deeper skin. So if it's just going to be more as well visible, that's what I think, like it looks really fantastic. Even better than ladies with brighter skin. That's just because you can really see, you know, the contrast, which is really lovely. And in this situation, you know, I really think it's not too much. Obviously, if she would have now rings on her fingers, then would be too much, but let's just assume this is all she's wearing that day, and I think this is really nice, really complement her skin again, and it is very like a beautiful, very simple, minimalistic type of contemporary jewelry. Another picture here with a little bit more, I would say, on the bigger side, which I wanted to mention as well, that you not necessarily need to go for really small pieces. You can go for more like a statement type of pieces of your jewelry. Like over here, obviously the necklace is the piece that you're going to really notice. Keep in mind that she is wearing like a white shirt as well, so it is more like an elegant white shirt. She has a ring on her finger, which is again very like thin, everything in gold color, and even though it is really big piece when it comes to the necklace, it just works very well. She has beautiful neck, it just suits her, again, the skin gives beautiful contrast to the gold, so everything looks really fantastic, and I really like that, you know. As I'm saying, you don't necessarily need to go for really tiny pieces just to feel more elegant. You can go for something that is just a little bit more statement, especially if you're going to wear your garments are going to be like calm, and going to be like fighting for attention. What is going to be more like important, your outfit or your jewelry? In this situation, I think she just went for the jewelry, and it's very feminine. Obviously you can go for bigger sizes jewelry. Just avoid this kind of look of like Wonder Woman. I have the picture here. This is just too much, you know. Go for something that maybe if it's bigger, maybe it's a little bit thinner. Don't go for something that it's really like muscular, and that's just not going to give you any like benefit, I would say. So yeah, so you can still go for big one. It's just trying to make it as feminine as possible, you know. That's just going to be beneficial to you. Obviously, if you go for something small like bracelet over here, it is very feminine. Sometimes people might not even notice it. It just obviously depends if something is going wrong with my hair here. It's not about like showing off all the time, obviously, but it is very feminine piece, I would say. The bracelet like this is very soft, very gentle, so it gives you this kind of beautiful gentleness to you as well. Again, earrings, I think you can still go for hoops. Those are like very like you know, you wear them through, I don't know, last 50 years people were wearing hoops, sometimes very big one, which I would say avoid those very big one, avoid some kind of shapes that they are not very rounded, maybe some hearts. Those are not really going to be elegant, let's just put it this way. When it comes to silver, I wanted to show you one piece of the earrings that I personally really like, but they might not be for everyone because they are not really like a regular shape. There is something more like a rough to this shape, and I wanted to mention that because I think this kind of contemporary jewelry now, especially now, has this kind of trend of being a little bit more rough, not necessarily silver, gold as well, but I think I personally really like that it's not only very like a geometrical, it is something that is just a little bit different, little bit more rough shape. With those rough shapes, just keep in mind that they might go out of the fashion like for a while and then can come back, you know, that's just the one thing. But if you're going to go only for a silver without any like gemstones, then I think it's still absolutely fine. And obviously you don't need to go for something really big, you can go for something small. And those smaller are going to be obviously, I think, better when it comes for the longer run. You can wear them more often rather than if you go for those big ones, you're not going to wear them so often. If you want to still be in this kind of like geometric lines, then I would say those as well are really fantastic, very minimalistic, very like a especially if they are thinner. If you go for very thick one, then obviously I just feel like personally I have this kind of opinion that if something is very thin, it's not very visible, you can wear that more often. If something is very big, very like noticeable, then you can't really wear that very often. It's the same with clothes. If you go for something really strong colors, then you're going to wear them rarely, rather than if you go for something more neutral that people not even going to notice that you wear that so often. That's just like how it works for me, and I think that's how it works for everyone else really. You're not going to wear everyday red suit because people are going to notice it, but if you're going to wear everyday black suit, then people are going to be like, okay, she probably have few, you know. The same when it comes to hair as well, because those are as well I would classify as a jewelry pieces. You can have a beautiful like a gold one, a brooch on the back of your hair. That's something that's going to just hold your hair in the position you really like, you know. And those as well made of real like gold and silver, they're going to be really long with you. Wherever we go, we see now those kind of like a with pearls. We see this kind of like a even like a silver one or something that looks like silver but it's just like a costume jewelry. Then obviously they are in the price like, you know, for nothing. Then obviously we are or let's just buy it, you know, cost nothing. But if you actually think about this, and if you want to have something for a really long time that's not going to change the color, because those costume jewelries, they changing the color, especially when it's like made of plastic, you know, then I would just recommend you to rethink that, you know, because if you buy something that is very like a beautiful shape, that it's going to last you for a really long time, then buying once actually might save you money and might actually be just worth it, you know. I just wanted to mention as well, oh, getting a little bit dark. Just wanted to mention as well what to avoid. Avoid this kind of style of putting a lot of pieces on top of you. So don't put 10 rings on, or like even 3-4 rings on one hand, you know. I have a picture here. This is like a very bohemian, I would say, style. I wouldn't say all those pieces, they don't really look like they are really gold, real gold, but they might be, you know. But it doesn't really the case of what kind of material is it. It's just not the case in the situation. Just don't put so much on your hand. I think putting more and more, it's less elegant. It's just like I'm saying, this is very like for me bohemian, very like casual, maybe something like this, but it's not necessarily elegant, especially a ring that they are put in the different like layers, if you know what I mean, like levels. So they have this kind of like a combo of every ring, obviously every finger has something on it. Again, the same when it comes to necklaces. I have a here picture. What you would think that it would actually be really lovely because it's very thin, very gentle type of jewelry, but when you're actually putting a star, which star is not necessarily really elegant shape, you know, you can go for a round one, you can go for this kind of like a rectangle that is much better, you know. But stars, those are like shapes for me for kids, you know. We're not kids anymore, we are adults, so let's just wear adult jewelry as well. And don't do so many layers. You could do 2 layers and it would be, I would say it would be still okay, but don't go for 4 or 5. I know this is again a trend just now, that putting more layers, putting like the jewelry we liked, you know. I just feel like that's not very elegant in my opinion, you know. But then this situation is less is more for me. Another thing to avoid, I'm trying to find a position to sit comfortable. Another thing to avoid is avoid with this kind of like stars I mentioned. Those are like a shape for kids. The same for me, it's when it comes to shapes that like text. So let's say love, you know, people like to have necklaces with love or whatever name they have, you know. That's again for me something that not necessarily elegant. You can have something that it's maybe beautiful ring or beautiful bracelet that it has engraved some kind of text inside just for your eyes, not necessarily to show off to everyone that you love someone. But the bracelet or the ring that someone gifted to you, and maybe, I don't know, maybe a partner, sister, and there's something really lovely message inside that jewelry, not necessarily text love or text, I don't know, whatever text they do, whatever else the text they do. When it comes to shapes as well, I wanted to mention that this might be tricky a little bit to find a perfect shape for you. I have a picture here of butterflies, and normally you would say this is a shape more like, again, for a more towards like a youthful person, but I think if something is really made nicely of gold, I think the animals are a little bit better than like stars and hearts. You can still have a lovely heart necklace, but heart earrings, I would say, this is you still need to think about this a little bit more. You can have a lovely heart gold necklace, and maybe even sometimes people like put pictures inside, you know, there's nothing wrong about that. Which I would still say it's okay if it's small enough, there's not very visible. That's something that you maybe want to wear every single day because it's your mom picture or something. But stars, I think, no, you know, that's just not. And again, earrings, when it comes to hearts, if you can avoid it, try to avoid it. When it comes to like here butterflies, this is something again that it's more like a almost like a child type of shape. It's obviously this kind of animals. The animals, I think, in trend just now as well. You can find a lot of like lizards, this kind of stuff, and you need to be really careful. You can find a really nice one that they're going to be still elegant, but you might need to try to find them a little bit like more. It's not going to be every animal shape is going to be very nice, you know, like dogs, cats. I think those are no, but sometimes you can really find beautiful shape of like earrings, for example. Like once I saw a really nicely dragonfly, you know. And those, I think, again, there's some kind of trend, you know, that they're coming, they're going. So it's really up to you if you want to spend money on something like this. I would rather say trend. So I would say if you can go for more like a shape, regular shapes, like a round one, geometric shapes, or something that's maybe more rough, but not necessarily animal shape. But if you still really find something that is really beautiful, and maybe some kind of like touch your soul, that, I don't know, you have this kind of spirit animal, and you really like the type of the earring, then go for it. But smaller, I think, would be just a little bit better, you know, not very visible. Like this one, obviously it's really big. You can see the butterflies straight away, you know, there's not only one, there are 2 butterflies. I wouldn't say they're bad, you know, I think they are still okay, but they are on the edge for me, you know. There's this kind of edge on the line that they could go a little bit more wrong, but depends as well what you're wearing. If you don't know where to start with like gold earrings or something, I would say the classic, very classic, are those kind of like full hoops, I would say hoops or like circle. Rather than maybe hoops, they will be like a full circle. You can go for a little bit bigger, again not going to wear them every day, or you can go for a little bit smaller that you will be able to wear them a little bit more often. Those are very classic, very beautiful. You can wear them to so many different things. Again, you can decide you either silver or gold care. I personally think silver look, all the like white, gold and silver and platinum look a little bit better on my skin, but because it's more cold. But it doesn't mean that I'm not going to wear gold, you know. I like to wear gold as well, so it's just, you know, it's something what you need to decide what you like more, you know, because sometimes they tell you, oh, you can check if you have a cool or gold tone, like cool or warm tones, by putting a ring on your finger, like silver and gold one, and which one looks better. That's more towards your like cooler or warmer tones. I think for me it's more cooler tones, but I still really like gold, so I'm not going to just cross it from my life because I have a more cool tones and they work better on my body. On the end, I just wanted to show you this picture of this lady. They are very big pieces when it comes to jewelry, earrings. But what I wanted to mention here, that if you're going to go for something that is a little bit more like when your garment is a little bit less visible again, and your hair are maybe put it up, so you're going to obviously have your neck open beautifully, people are going to see your ears, and putting then piece of like jewelry like this is just going to really complement you, you know. It's beautiful for some kind of birthday, you know, something even maybe not necessarily work environment, because it is a little bit too much, too visible, but overall the lady is lovely, and she looks really lovely with this kind of gold earrings that are bigger, and they have something over there, but it's very hard for me to see. But the shape overall is very like unusual, but because of the hair and because of the showing the neck as well, it's very feminine, even though it's very big. Okay ladies, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave it a thumbs up, and see you in the next one.